In our months-long search to know if Connor Betts' juvenile court records could have possibly stopped him from legally buying the 2 guns he used in the Oregon District mass shooting, WHIO, along with other media outlets, sued for them to be released. Last Thursday, state Supreme Court justices denied that request. That same day, the man you're about to hear from contacted the I-Team, wanting to tell us about his family's experience with Betts. He knew some would not want to talk with us, including his own son. He knew some would not like what he has to say, and that many will question the vulgar music that was his connection to Betts. But he now feels compelled to share, hoping information like this will help prevent future mass shootings. As journalists working to understand why something so horrific happened in our community, we felt we had a responsibility to hear what he has to say and to let you hear it too.
You know, everybody's looking for his past for a reason why he did what he did now, you know? And I don't think it came from his past. I think it came from what happened in the last couple of years from his life, you know? I think he was somebody in pain, somebody that, you know, maybe he felt shut out or, you know, for other reasons.
A conclusion Ron Tinkham based on conversations he says he had with his son. In the year leading up to Betts committing the Oregon District mass shooting, Tinkham says his roommate's video provided to the I-Team on the condition all band members but Betts not be identified shows what Betts was doing at his Dayton house nearly every week with his son and friends.
And he would come over here just on Sundays when everybody played music. You know, he was a friend, but he was more of an acquaintance that came into the group, you know? So he wasn't like, you know, we didn't call him like he called us. It was that sort of thing.
Tinkham said from his vantage point, no signs anything might be strange.
Nobody saw anything, or nobody thought anything like this was going to happen, or like he was capable of doing anything like this. I wouldn't want somebody in my home that I thought was any threat to us, you know, whatsoever.
But the I-Team's past reporting has revealed there were concerns about Betts long before this. At the time of the shooting, police say Betts was on drugs, which federal affidavits referenced he had addiction issues with since high school. And hours after the Oregon District attack, a classmate told me about a list she says Betts made during his time in the Bellbrook Sugar Creek School District. What was the list that he made?
Of people he wanted to shoot. He had a plan to shoot up the high school.
I-Team reporting last year confirming the Bellbrook High School hit and rape list and also other middle and high school violent incidents.
That's when Connor pulled out a razor knife out of his pocket.
He put his hands around her neck and started choking her.
We haven't heard any of that.
Under Ohio law, Betts' juvenile court records were wiped clean 2 years before the shooting. That's because of his age. He was older than 23. There was no paper trail to possibly prevent the 24-year-old from legally buying 2 guns used that night. Citing student privacy laws last week, Ohio's Supreme Court justices ended WHIO's fight to find out if information in Betts' juvenile records would have revealed that.
Like, everybody's looking about his past. I think it's what happened in the last year of his life.
Tinkham says Betts played heavy metal shows with his son's band and another band, one of them at this downtown Dayton club just 18 days before the Oregon District attack. And it was after that July 17th, 2019 show, Tinkham says Betts' friends told him they did not want to see him anymore. Tinkham says his son later revealed to him Betts' concerning behavior in the months leading up to that night, like when the group of friends took a trip to Chicago.
They said that he brought like a gun or something with him and made comments about using it. So they got a little weary of him when they came back. And he started to do weird things with, he started to ask people for money from the shows, like email them later and ask for money from the shows. And that's what started them getting bothered by his behavior.
Tinkham says ultimately Betts was kicked out of 2 bands in the weeks before the shooting. That's on top of past I-Team reporting revealing Betts and his girlfriend breaking up in the spring.
Him being alienated from his big group of people that he was, you know, always hung around, I think took a little effect on him.
Tinkham also wonders if the extreme version of heavy metal punk music,
pretty extraordinarily
filled with vulgar lyrics they would perform, could have had a very different effect on Betts compared to the rest of the group.
With this kind of music and stuff that goes on, we always joke around with things. We always say things that are just, it's out of context where we're just joking, and we just think that, I don't know, maybe he took this stuff literally, or maybe he thought these things.
Federal investigators admitted as much just days after the Oregon District attack.
We have uncovered evidence throughout the course of our investigation that the shooter was exploring violent ideologies.
It's all these what ifs now.
As for Tinkham, the thought of his group's split with Betts just weeks before the attack haunts him to this day.
Now, we all feel grateful to be around, It's could have easily been any of us.
One more perspective as a community continues its search for answers. Tinkham's son declined participation in this story. Now, in addition to Dayton Police, the FBI tells the I-Team they were also aware of this information. Agents also say they knew about this and what they call other factors that may have played a role in Betts' motive. Now, because some aspects of this case remain under investigation, agents were not able to release any case specifics. For the I-Team, Sean Cudahy, News Center 7.